では続きまして参りましょう。ドイツよりツートップパルツ森の幼稚園理事ゲイザー・ボルツェさんです。
Mr. Gezer, please.
Okay. Konnichiwa. Well, you see, I have no traditional clothes on, and I have no, no uniform. But to go into nature, you just need a good pair of shoes and some rough, heavy-duty trousers, and that's it. But now let me introduce myself. My name is Gezer Bolz, I'm from Germany, and I'm here to represent the forest kindergarten. It's called Waldkindergarten Südpfalz, and it's situated in the very southwestern Germany. It's the biggest connected German forest, and it's a private organized preschool for 15 to 24 kids between 2 and 6 years old who spend their mornings outside in the nature with no walks, experiencing what is out there. But before I start my speech, I want to quote Rachel Carson, a biologist and founder of a contemporary environmental movement. And already in the 50s, she found the right words to resume all that I want to say during my speech. And she said, "If facts are the seeds that later produce knowledge and wisdom, then the emotions and the impressions of the senses are the fertile soil in which the seeds must grow. The years of early childhood are the time to prepare the soil." But now to myself. As a person who grew up in a very small town in Germany, nature has always been a part of my life. Hiking in the woods with my father, searching for mushrooms and berries, to witness deer and wild boars, sneaking through the underwoods and being and playing outside in nature has always been part of my life, and it remained until today. Also, I have the advantage to live in a country which is a pioneer in environmental and climate protection. The nuclear phase-out in 2022, renewable energy, reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The responsibility towards nature is omnipresent in our country. And environmental sustainability is not a foreign word anymore. It is lived, not only by me. Of course, I have tried to give all my 4 children an understanding of it, and when my oldest daughter started kindergarten and I had to give her away into somebody else's responsibility, the impact of development was very important for me. Living not as rural as I did when I was a child, I searched for something special, a place where my child could be outside most of the day, sheltered in a protected group where she could grow up being respected without manipulation between constraint and blame. With their base between fields and forest, called the Angel's Meadow, it's a very, very nice word, I found the Waldkindergarten. In those days, it was only a just 4-year-old parental initiative with 2 handfuls of kids and a great kindergarten teacher from whom even the parents could learn a lot. But it was also a great group of parents, motivated, who had searched a kind of kindergarten education far from what was offered from our commune. Well, I sent my children first one by one, and then ended up being stuck with it, and I learned what a wonderful and nice project I got into. In this parental initiative, I started out like all the other parents. We absorbed and created and we shaped our own kindergarten. It was a lot of work, but it formed the best idea into projects. But after a while, I picked up more and more work than most of the parents, and I ended up finding myself as a head of it all. And don't get me wrong, I identify myself and concept, and I'm very, very grateful I got connected. Fundraising, personal management, administrative things, and secretary are as much part of my job as eventually spending the day with the kids, being a backup help if somebody is ill. Wrapped in mud garments, among layers of wool and wax in the winter, and summer or light dresses in the summer, the little ones set out into the great outdoors, day by day, rain or shine, snow or wind. In the woods and the meadows around the small village Valtampa, there are plenty of places to be captured. When it's hot, they spend the day at a creek or in the shadowy forest, and in cold winter days, they rather look for a sunny place on top of a hill. They have daily routines, conversation circles, they eat together, they sing together, they have handcraft proposals, and there is an everyday story to be read to them. The journey is the reward on most days. That's when the kids start their own little project. They form social groups and they decide what to do. Embedded in conceptual rules, giving the kids an understandable orientations, they are free to behave in this well-known system. They use all that's out there in the nature to play. A slope becomes a slide. The trees are the climbing frames. How great can you hide in leaves and greenery? And mud, like we heard from Amber, is still the best moldable material. There are possibilities to sharpen and open your senses everywhere. By collecting, observing, comparing, estimating, trying out and reasoning, the children are approaching scientific phenomena every day. But it's not only the nature itself, it's the free, unobstructed moving space that gives them a healthy personality development. The constant movement is the base for positive physical well-being, and testing out all the things with natural materials stimulates their creativity. In addition to the nature with no walls, we have the great benefit of a very good cooperation with the seminar farm. At least once a week, the children visit and get together with all the animals intensely. Suitable for their age, they pet, they feed, they be playfully integrated into the workflow of a farm. With cows and their calves, with horses, sheep, goats, pigs, chicken, even bees, cats and dogs, it is a fully equipped farm. So they experience the natural processes of farm management and their meaning of food and where it comes from. There, they have their garden and they plant their own vegetables. When the children smell, when they feel, hear, and experience, and when they are involved intensely, they develop sensitivity and deal respectfully with nature and the living beings, and they learn how to protect them. Believe me, there are a lot of animal savers in our kindergarten. The kids are so eager to study and to save the smallest things. By being outside in all seasons, the children are involved in the processes of nature and farm life, and they experience it with all its intensity. Without the information overload due to a high noise level inside and pre-structured toys and craft supplies, the kids are balanced and contented. Knowing and eating healthy food which comes from the farm side and is prepared by the kids and teachers is the easiest way to find out about good meals, and it's very good for their constitution. But the best concept cannot work without good educators, and this is one of our main concerns. and we found very good and caring teachers who skill themselves in the science of forest education and a pedagogic that appreciates the smallest persons in our society. Without the professional competences they bring along, the whole concept would not work. They let the kids find out things for themselves. They keep calm and understanding. So they test out the interplay between risk and safeness, and they learn by themselves how to estimate their strength. All these things are bases to form people who are strong and sufficient, and they can later care for oneself, for another, and for the surrounding they live in. I believe that our education in the forest kindergarten is a sustainable environmental project in the long run that makes them to be people that walk into a forest picking up cans and trash. I can tell you a story about it because when I get back from hiking with my kids at the weekend, I've got the backpack full of waste, which they have collected. So the seed has to be early set to lead to a responsibility about things, and in this case, for the protection of our Mother Earth in adulthood. But now, let me end how I started with a quoting part of a poem by Hermann Hesse. He said, "Sometimes when a bird cries out, or the wind sweeps through a tree, or a dog howls in a far-off farm, I hold still and I listen a long time. My soul turns and goes back to the places where 1,000 forgotten years ago, the bird and the blowing wind were like me, and were my brothers." Thank you very much for your attention, and